I'm very excited about the IT sector, just because there are no borders with IT, with the cloud. In our business, everything is up in the cloud, and it's just amazing, that you can be able to do things with just a simple hookup, with an internet hookup. So we're going to hear now from Hassan Qassem, and he's the chairman of the Palestinian IT Association. Hassan, welcome.
Still, it's good morning. Sometimes it's difficult to talk, but Hashim make it more difficult to talk even after his speech, because for many reasons. He knows about IT more than I do, so he talked about venture, innovation, venture, VC, and all of these things. So, and I was hesitant to talk about beta and the sector the way I prepared the presentation. But I would like, first of all, to thank the organizer, Ratib, Anthony, and others for organizing this event and conference. When I think about this conference, I believe like we are a startup company here. And this is what to tell Ratib, it's not, the obstacles or whatever you call them, problems or obstacles that you counted. I think these are the most important thing to have a successful story later on, because when you face these kind of problems and still you keep the same momentum to make this conference happen, I think this is the first success for the conference. The second point, which is very important, when I think about this conference, and Hashim elaborated a little bit about it, which is the beauty of the Palestinian in general, when he talked about Muslims and Christians. The beauty of this conference is to help Palestine. And I've never thought about, sometimes we talk like minority versus not minority. I've never believed in this term. We don't have minority in Palestine. We have Palestinian, and the only place in earth, I think, or in the world, or whatever you call it, that you cannot tell who's who. We are all together there. We are facing the same things. We are having the same kind of challenges, and we've never believed in this. We believed in one thing, that we have one interest, to stay there, and we have another interest, to travel anywhere from US to Chile, wherever, to convince any Palestinian to come back and to invest in Palestine. We've never thought about his religion. We are not only talking about Muslim, Christian. Also, we believe that anyone interested to come back, he's welcomed from our point of view, because this is the only way to help the Palestinian to stay there and to show that it's not only we are surviving there, we are at as Hashim said, on the bottom of the list, as the people do expect. Take the banking sector example. It's not the money, we are not the richest country among the Arab countries, but we are the number 3 in the banking sector, which can tell us this is because we as Palestinian believe in one thing, not only to survive, but to be in the top of the list, but the good list, not any list. So this is why I believe this conference should stay yearly and have more people to come in order to deliver our message about Palestine and about our relationship as Palestinian living in Palestine, regardless of our religion. This is the first message that I have. The second one, when Hashim talked about the graduates and the graduation number of graduates in our universities and schools, and statistics about the age of 30, 60, etc. versus when I look at the IT sector in general, I look at the IT sector right now beyond the employment, actually, because it's the address of the civilization today. It's the address that anyone could talk about what kind of development that is going back home, the development of having Palestinian participating in the innovation to help Palestinian to start and the whole world in general. I believe we have a problem there of one thing, that our local market, we have about 3,000 graduates yearly in IT and related subjects. The local market cannot employ them. Sometimes you can understand that a guy who is graduate from, for example, geography, mathematics, physics, history, etc., not to have a job. But for IT, you cannot understand that for many reasons. The first reason that he's dangerous, in my opinion, because he's well connected with the whole world. Dangerous in the positive thing. Dangerous that we want to shift his mentality to be part of the world in the positive side. So when you look at the App Store, for example, yes, a Palestinian can develop a product and sell it in the App Store or in Salesforce or whatever. But still, no one can start developing any product without being exposed of what's needed in the world. And this is your role, actually, giving him the exposure of what's needed. It's not the tool, it's the exposure. And that's why we look at any one of you important. Our relationship with him is very important, because you can tell him and talk to him about the needs that he doesn't know. So the tool itself, knowing the tool is not enough. And that's why we are here, to meet and open doors and windows to those guys graduate from Palestine. Because I myself do not believe in jobs, I believe in career and having companies and startup. To have this, yes, we need this partnership. We need this kind of conferences to deliver our message that those graduates need your help. In terms of quality of those graduates, I could talk hours and hours about the many successful stories that we had. I will choose two. The first one started almost 6 years ago with Cisco, when their chairman, Mr. John Chambers, visited Palestine and donated $10 million as a CSR. And the story started to help the ICT sector. He trained from this budget, trained 100 people in Cisco products. Later on, right now, most of those 100 doubled to 200 and more, working in real projects with Cisco, after they proved that they are even more qualified than many other colleagues, let's say, in other countries. And the second, with a company, all of you know about it, which is Salesforce. I myself participated in that investment. We've sent 15 graduates from local universities to Germany with one of Salesforce partner for 3 months. They said after 3 months we will give them exams and decide to work together and what kind of qualification do they have. After the 23rd day, they took a decision they can sit for exams. All of them, and I mean it, all of them passed their exams in distinguished. After the first month, they start putting them in real projects and giving them work. And their daily rate there is $600 Can you imagine a Palestinian who could take a daily rate of $600? What is the impact on the Palestinian economy? This is the other part of IT. When we talk about IT, we don't talk only in terms of number of graduates. We consider it the impact of the IT job in the economy itself. Because in Germany, they make 600 euro, not dollar, per day for the consultant. And we are getting it in dollars. So it's a win-win situation for the German company and the Palestinian company. We still believe that this is a best way to employ those guys because they are qualified, they work hard to prove their ability in delivering the work. The last point that I'd like to talk about, which is when Hashim talked about the banking sector and the two venture capital that we have, it's not a lack of money, by the way, in Palestine. We don't have the lack of money, you know. Actually, our banking sector, I think, there is a joke, if you have less than $100,000, it's not easy to open an account or to track it here in US with the banks. There, you know, it's a very advanced system, easy to work with our banking sector, and the money is available. But for new graduates or new startup, etc., as I started, you need the exposure of what's needed. So in order to have the real pipeline for those venture capital, for loans from the banks, I think we need to work together in creating the pipeline and bringing the ideas to those guys in a real partnership. And when I say investment here is, okay, great, but there it's less risky. I don't want to say cheaper, but I think it's less risky because you can find qualified people who can deliver in less time, which make it time to market less, with low cost, which make it cheaper, and with the latest technology that you might think about it here in US. The last point, I want to just thank Ratib, Anthony, and all the organizers, and thank my colleagues who make it this time, and hopefully to see you next year here. Thank you.